Yeah, I agree. I think it makes it more exciting for the counter picks because, like, you can't just be like, all right, well, I know this way. It causes a lot more. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I like that in these tournaments when you don't know what you're up against next. So you have to kind of pick four decks that you think are solid all around. You can't just be like, oh well, he's gonna play this, this, and then this, so I'm gonna just snipe him with this deck, you know? Like sometimes, based on what classes they're using, you know which order they're gonna play them in because it's obvious. Like if they have a warlock deck and then a priest deck and then like a hunter deck, you know they're probably leading off with the warlock deck, and then the other two are counters.
Right.
So you know, okay, well, I need my anti-warlock deck first.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna have a rogue versus a druid. This is gonna be very interesting, seeing as like if the rogue goes off fast enough, the druid doesn't really have a lot of speed. But if it goes too late game, then Rusher is just gonna have this.
I think it depends almost entirely on Innervate and whether he gets off something big or not. Because if he gets stuck playing a bunch of little tiny things and gets off to a slow start, the rogue can just backstab and get a lot of tempo. But if he sets up like a huge Druid of the Claw early on, that's gonna like impede the rogue by a lot.
Absolutely. Although you got to admit, having that Black Knight in your hand, although it's annoying to have a 6 card, it's going to make him feel a little bit more comfortable about all
Yeah,
the taunts that druids have.
definitely. One thing, like something that's become popular within my group of like practice partners is that if we're up against a druid that we know runs Ancient of War, we don't even use it on Druid of the Claw. Like even if we have a perfectly good target, we just save it for later because we know we can get more out of it. And
And
there's like you have to kind of remember which players run Ancients of War and which ones don't.
no, absolutely. Man, that Peggle opening, especially hitting the 50-50 twice in a row, is doing so much work for Zrusher right now. It's definitely putting him ahead.
Yeah. Personally, when someone plays Nat Pagel, I just ignore it that it's there most of the time. And I just hit them in the face. Because on average, it takes about like 4.5 turns for it to pay off fully. And usually in 4 turns, you can just kill them.
I'm assuming he's okay. So it seems like Puffin has gone to your school of ignore Nat Pagel. Oh no!
I think it's the better decision. Well, maybe you can kill it early on like this, and it's fine to do.
No,
Plus, he didn't get off to a particularly extremely fast start anyway.
no, absolutely. And he does have a lot of card draw in his hand, so those cards are not going to matter as much.
I actually like Yeti in the Druid deck too, simply because if you innervate that on like turn 2, it's humongous.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the same thing with like Cairn.
Yeah, obviously, like coin innervate Druid of the Claw is kind of like my dream hand. You know what I'm saying? So I totally can feel like the Yeti. It saves you from having to use the coin, and it's almost as good. Oh, so Black Knight is coming
We're
down
gonna
right now.
we're gonna see. Okay, so he does use it here.
Yeah, he's going straight up rush
The
down.
other
So
option the other option would have been to just like deal with the Druid of the Claw and wait to see if he has an Ancient of War and save the Black Knight for that. Because in a couple turns, this gives him more tempo up front, but in a couple turns, I'm thinking an Ancient of War is going to come out, and we'll see if he has anything to deal with that.
no, and that huge swipe is done some work right there.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Now the question is, are we just gonna go for the face? Is he gonna just blitz him, or is he trying to find another way? It looks like he's not gonna just blitz him.
We'll see how he plays it. Everyone has their own style.
Yep. And so he does kill them.
I probably would have opted to just ignore the loot hoarder, or the Thalnos rather, because any AoE spell that he casts will kill his entire board anyway. Yeah, see, here's the Ancient of War. This is what I'm talking about.
No, absolutely.
I think the better move is actually to save the Black Knight and not kill the Druid of the Claw, because he had other ways to deal with the Druid of the Claw, like running the Farseer and using the three damage dagger to kill it, and then he would have been able to use the Black Knight right here.
Yeah, now he's gonna have to either spend a lot of his board to clear that guy, or he's going to have to.
I think he's gonna just do the Eviscerate play.
That's what I would do. Eviscerate is probably gonna be the most efficient way to get this guy down. So it seems like he's gonna. Okay, that's cool. Fan of Knives.
Well, he's gonna. Yeah, this makes sense. And then he can use the weapon combined with like the 2/1 and the Divine Shield or something, or the 3/1 rather.
Yep, and what makes that work is because he has that Fan of Knives that a lot of rogues don't actually run. So.
And he got Sylvanas and Rag, so this is actually looking bad for the Druid now.
Absolutely, the fact that he was able to deal with that big stuff without.
That's also a lot of the problem with using taunt minions to deal with aggro decks. Is there's a lot of ways to bypass taunt, because when you put a taunt minion down, you're kind of like, okay, the onus is on you to deal with this minion, and then it's basically putting the fate of the game in your enemy's hands when you use taunt. So the better approach is to use minions like Baron Geddon, I think, and AoE like Starfall to remove them rather than trying to taunt them. Because there's just too many ways to get around taunt minions now, like Silence or Black Knight, or just like huge things like Eviscerate that deal like a crap ton of damage.
Absolutely. Even on the ladder, I've been seeing a lot more Baron Geddon plays for that very purpose, and Baron Geddon definitely is annoying, because the play that comes out, you kind of have to kill that too, and it's not bad. So it's kind of like, it's a taunt that also clears the board in a sense, you know, so it's so valuable.
He has a couple options here. You go Sylvanas, Eviscerate, and then run the Novice in. Or you could just take the 50-50 with Rag.
Even the fact that Rag hid that, it isn't necessarily bad, because still trying to deal with, like, I mean, most Druids do not run Naturalized, so dealing with an 8/8 is not going to be the easiest thing here. Oh, it looks like it's Rag Roulette time.
I think it's safe to say the Druid loses.
Yep, it's Rag Roulette, so he needs the magic hit here to even stay in the game.
Yeah.
Total whiff.
Well, it would have been a worse whiff if it hit the Divine Shield though.
True. It wasn't a total whiff. It just was very much not what he would have wanted.
I think here, I don't know if I would. I think I would probably just play Eviscerate to try to go for the win. You could play Sylvanas, and that gives you more like guaranteed win, but I'd probably just use Eviscerate.
Well, it looks like he's gonna try and like sure up the hit there by throwing the 1/1. So he's gonna set it up so that his Rag is either gonna kill his Rag or pretty much finish him.
This is fine too. Almost anything he did there would have been fine.
No, absolutely. It was probably the most conservative way of getting even more ahead, the way he played that.
Oh, with the heals.
Wow, at this point, it might prolong the game. Like,
No, I don't think so. The Argent Commander with
well, Argent Commander takes out the 5/5 and
no,
with
no,
the
no.
1/1.
You would just go straight to the face.
You go straight to the face, and then you see
Yeah,
what rag hits.
because the Argent Commander and the Azure Drake brings the.
He played it the way I said. There you go.
This doesn't give lethal though.
I agree. It's the most conservative playing ever, but it's definitely.
Well, the other way that I was gonna do, I would have done it. He would have either won the game or killed the minion.
Absolutely, I agree.
I think just going all to the face was the better decision there. Because, like, at worst, you kill the minion anyway.
No, I agree. Your way, basically, it could have won that turn. This way definitely did drag it out another half a turn, but like with the 20-point life lead, I don't think it mattered either. So it wasn't like he was risking the game by playing a slower kill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just like little details in a game that's already decided pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, did you want the super cool kill, or did you want the I kill him next turn kill where he has no chance of winning anyway?
So that was a Rogue versus Druid. I'm thinking we're going to see a Warlock deck come out. Unless he has some, like, anti-Rogue deck planned.
True. The downside is because he has shown Fan of Knives, you have to take that into account that, that is a pretty strong counter to Blood Imps, and if you were going to make the Warlock deck, you know that he's going to have some answers to you a little bit more than most rogues do.
Yeah, that's true. The winner can't change cards, right?
Right, they can't.
Okay.
Oh.
So, I mean, if I was Zrusher, I'd probably be looking to, like, losing game one like that, I'd be looking for Warlock anyway, probably. Because it's just, like, the most consistent deck.
Alright, so now... Oh man, I got a lot of comments.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, a Mage or Shaman deck either, though, because those also have some good anti-aggro options.
Okay, sorry guys, I'm just having to do a little bit of admin stuff. Alright. Yep.
Puffin's asking if he can side deck in between. Should I just tell him no?
Yes, you can.
Oh, the winner can change decks?
Yeah, no, he can't change decks, he can change cards.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you can sideboard whenever. There is no restrictions to sideboard.
Man, Rogue is like my most hated class ever since the days of the Defiance Ringleader. Like, I just hate how many, like, free damage stuff they have. Like, everything they have, you get so much value out of. I just think it's so cheap. The SI7 agent and the backstabs, like, they're just over the top to me. And Eviscerate dealing 4 damage for 2 mana is crazy.
I agree. Eviscerate is definitely a out of control thing. Sorry guys for missing the first 3 turns here. Just was doing some housekeeping stuff with the rest of the tournament. And it seems like we're getting the mirror match here. And We're gonna see who can outrogue each other. So what do we miss? Can you catch us up a little bit, Kisstafer?
There was a novice engineer and an Argent Squire from Zrusher, and um, Puffin just played like an SI7 agent and pulled out a weapon to clear the board. And then he played a Loot Hoarder, and that's pretty much where we're at now.
All right. So it seems like we're having very similar builds out of them. So it's gonna be interesting to see who can rogue harder, pretty much.
Well, Puffin's deck is has a bit more AOE. I'm gonna guess because he has Blade Flurry and Phantom Knives. Usually you see one or the other, I think.
True. It seems to me like his build was assuming he was gonna go Warlock, not Rogue.
Puffin's wishing he had extra mana right now to play that Argent Commander. His other options aren't that great to deal with that guy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he takes out a new dagger and does Deadly Poison and Fan of Knives. Okay, never mind. He's just choosing to ignore the Azure Drake. I probably would have just went Fan of Knives plus the new weapon and Deadly Poison to kill the Azure Drake. Because letting something with spell power stay alive, especially for Rogue, is pretty ridiculous.
No, absolutely. With the ability to stack it with the eviscerates, it's almost like you're inviting damage right now. But it's always a gamble doesn't have the damage in his hand.
Yeah, he's hoping to kill it next turn, but what that does is it lets Zrusher play additional threats. Like, now he has to deal with not only the Azure Drake, because he didn't deal with it last turn, but there's this Argent Commander on the field now, too.
Absolutely, and it's not a case where he can ignore either one, and pretty much he does have ways to kill them both, but he's probably going to have to take some damage here.
Yeah. He might have just been hoping to get the Argent Commander out. I mean, he could go Argent Commander on the Azure Drake, run the 1/1 to pop the Divine Shield, and attack it with the weapon.
Exactly, that's exactly the play I was thinking there. It seems to be the best way to deal with both. However, you're going down even deeper.
His HP is getting low if he does that. The other option, of course, is to do Blade Flurry, but you'd have to go Phantom Knives and then Blade Flurry.
Right, after hitting the Azure Drake, because like that still doesn't kill it. Wow, he's going to go Deadly Poison, Blade Fury. I see him pondering that. Wow. I think that's about what we're gonna see.
I don't think he had to use both. I think he could have just used Phantom Knives and drawn the card.
No, that definitely to me seemed like a way to do it without having to hit anything. You get what I'm saying? So that definitely was a saving grace there, but now he's so behind on card advantage that it's going to be hard for him, especially because...
Well, the thing is, he's going for the win. In, like, the next 2 turns, he's hoping to win the game.
True.
Like, that play is basically him saying, okay, I want this game to end sooner rather than later. Because he valued putting the minion down over using Fan of Knives. Because he wanted to keep tempo.
He definitely did play a threat that has to be responded to. However, anytime you see a rogue that has way more cards than you, I always feel that you might be biting off more than you can chew.
The question here is if he goes to the face of the Argent Commander or if he kills the 3/3 with it. Oh, he's just... I don't know if this is... Okay, he's gonna...
Use the Fan of Knives to basically protect Leroy a little bit.
I probably would have used the Argent Commander this turn and did that next turn.
Yeah, that combo is nice, but now your bigger damage you've let maybe go. But I see his ending is probably going to be Argent Commander Eviscerate. He's kind of like showing it right there. So in his mind, it's like, I got this. He's just like laying down the gauntlet right now.
Yeah. It's basically just a playstyle thing. He's really going for the face hard. And it's probably a good decision because the defender of Argus has already been used. So he might not have any more taunt, and he's really going low on HP.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Rusher's last stand in a second, because I don't see a way out of this. You would need some sort of miracle play, especially because you have to kill the golem twice before it gets its damage in, and if it gets its damage in, then basically the Argent Commander Eviscerate is way overkill, you know? There's like really no easy out of this.
The only way for him to not die next turn is if he has another Defender of Argus, I think. Otherwise, it's going to be Argent Commander plus Eviscerate for the win.
And this is where you see that Blade Fury actually can come in handy. Like, if he had a Blade Fury right now, that could actually maybe help him here, but not having the potential to really clear board, which most rogues don't. Most rogues are just rush you down.
Puffin's deck seems to be a lot better at clearing aggro.
Yeah, on some level, it did feel like a waste throwing that second deadly poison. However, it's put him in this position now. So, in retrospect, being able to clear the board, although he lost his deadly poison, it enabled him to be in this position.
Oh, so he does have the taunt. And the deadly poison. Oh, I don't know if I would have done that with the taunt minion. I think he just did Puffin's work for him, because Puffin was going to want to kill those taunts anyway.
No, exactly, and you could have gotten that extra damage in, absolutely.
I think... actually, yeah, Puffin's 2 mana short of winning the game right now. I still think he just goes Argent Commander Eviscerate to the face, though.
Absolutely.
The only thing he's scared of is if Zrusher has his own Leroy plus Cold Blood combo or something like that, or Leroy plus Eviscerate, because he's got 6 damage in the field already. So it depends how scared he is.
True, but there's no real other way to play it. I mean, like at this point, that's the best he can do anyway.
I think the play is honestly to kill the 3/3 with the Argent and then Eviscerate the face. Because if he leaves the 3/3 alive, he risks getting, Leroy'd back. If he does this, we're gonna... Okay. Okay, so he is killing one. Okay. Yeah.
Yep, he is protecting against the...
Leroy combo.
The Leroy combo, yes. The Leroy Cold Blood. And
there it is. So he would have lost if he went all to the face.
Oh, does he have a Cold Blood? It could still be
over. Does he have a
second
one? Does he have a second Eviscerate?
Oh my god, this is so exciting.
Oh my god.
Wow.
2 HP. And that's what those rush decks with Leroy look like. It's, even the Warlock one with double Soulfire, Leroy, Power Overwhelming. And then you have this rogue one with Eviscerate, Leroy,